Hello everyone, my name's Nymphina and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing with you guys why you should be restarting your island with there being the lack of updates in Animal Crossing New Horizons and you're probably experiencing burnout, so I'm here to give you some advice as to why you should restart. But before we begin, I want to give you guys some details about the 500 sub giveaway that I have been promising you for quite a while now. So if you can cast your memory back to all them weeks ago when I promised a giveaway for the 500 subscriber landmark that we managed to get to, I am going to be inviting 14 people over to my island to collect an entire inventory full of items, of obviously Animal Crossing items, of in-game Animal Crossing items. Now, the way I want to do this is I want you guys to comment on this video. It can be absolutely any comment, just make sure you preface it with "I would like to be in the giveaway," so that I know that you guys want to be in the giveaway and potentially get a whole inventory full of items. That's all you need to do to enter, and then if we get enough people, if there's less people than 14, that's absolutely fine. I might let a few people come a few more times to get some inventory items, which would be really fun. But I'm aiming to invite 14 people over to get a full inventory of items, and all you need to do is just comment down below. I want this to be a YouTube only giveaway, so I am going to make a post over on Instagram, but that is only going to direct people over to this video so that they can obviously comment and hopefully win to get an inventory full of items. So I hope that that is good for you guys, and let's go jump into the video, shall we? So reason number one as to why you should be restarting your island: quite simply, you know how the game works now. By that I mean you can make better decisions, such as picking a better island name that fits for a theme that you potentially want to do. You can now select a better island layout as well. If you were like me, when I first picked my island layout, I kind of went for the initial 4 that was set out there, and I picked one where my town hall was really close to my airport, which gave me absolutely no room for terraforming opportunities. So when I restarted, I decided to continuously restart until I found a layout that I was really happy with. To give you guys some advice, here are 3 of the things that I would advise for you to look at if you're wanting to reset and you're wanting to pick a better island layout. One would be the river outlets. Where do you want them to be, and do you think that you'll be able to terraform around them well if you picked a certain type? Number 2 is the peninsula, because the peninsula, believe it or not, comes in different varieties and shapes and locations on your island, so definitely look for them to see where you want that to be on your island. And then number 3 is, where is your plaza going to be? A lot of us, like I said, shot ourselves in the foot by picking an island that we thought it would be really fun to have the plaza really close to the airport, because that makes sense, doesn't it? But then once we unlocked terraform, we realized, oh no, this was a bad idea, because now I have absolutely no room and I don't know what to do with it because I can't move my plaza. So there are 3 things that I would advise you look for when you're looking for a better island layout. Another point for better decisions: you can make better decisions when it comes to your villager choices, your airport colour, and your fruit options. Now, let me be honest with you, the worry of who you get as your first villagers quickly subsides, at least it did for me, because now that you understand how to easily boot someone from your island or to swap them with someone that's at your campsite, you don't have to worry anymore because you're just going to get rid of them most likely. But a little tidbit for you: you always end up with 1 Jock villager and 1 Uchi / Big Sister villager, just if you want to have a gander at who you can possibly get once you start your island up. Number 2, even though I mentioned it 3rd on that little list, is your fruit choices. Maybe you're the type of person where your native fruit is very important to you, because maybe you really don't like oranges or you really don't like pears and you really want those cherries. Now you know how to reset. You can just continuously reset until you can get the native fruit that you want. That is if you're okay with trying to then find again a layout that you really want. And then the 3rd point was the... Gonna close the window. Let's see if that subsides it, shall we? And then the 3rd point that I mentioned was the airport colour. Once again, if you don't mind resetting like you might do with your fruit or your beginning villagers, and what you most likely will with your island layout, you can just continuously reset until you can get an airport colour that you like. Now, unfortunately, at this point in the game, as far as we know, unless you glitch or cheat your game, there is no foolproof way to try and get an airport colour that you really like, because people have done experiments where they pick the same option multiple times and they get multiple different colours. So I'd say for you, if that's a really important thing to you, like it was for me, just keep resetting until you get an airport colour that you like. That could potentially be quite a few hours of resetting until you find the absolute perfect settings of getting what you want, but if it's worth it to you, I highly advise doing it. As you start this new game save as well, you have a better grasp of what you want. Because you've already made those mistakes in your previous save, you now know how to rectify them and how to change and edit things when you make a mistake because you already know what to do. As well, building placement isn't an issue. I'd advise, since you're already probably planning to get terraforming anyway, to put all of your buildings on your beach. Why is this? Well, that's because money can be really limited at the beginning of the game, unless you're utilizing free treasure islands, that I really recommend that you do. But if you don't want to be wasting that time and those bells just moving a villager's house because you placed it in the wrong place. So I'd say all buildings, including the Nooks and the Able Sisters, just shift them onto the beach straight away, and then you don't have to worry about moving them so that you can flatten your island or start terraforming. Point number 2 about restarting. It may seem really scary at first, but it's actually really fun. It can be a breath of fresh air, in my opinion, a new leaf, as you could say. I understand that there may be some things that have you worried, so let me settle your mind real quick. Let's say you're worried about losing all those items that you spent such a long time getting. Well, you can just ask a friend that has the game, or a person within an Animal Crossing community that you're a part of, if you can just dump a few items onto that island for now, and then you can get them back later on. Maybe you're scared about losing all those DIYs that you've also spent a really long time getting. Well, collecting DIYs is kind of a part of this game. Collecting DIYs and giving yourself the opportunity to rediscover ones that maybe you haven't looked at for a really long time can give you potentially a little bit of a boost when it comes to terraforming inspiration, because you might find that tiny library DIY that you haven't looked at for a really long time and go, that's going to be really amazing because I want to do this type of theme and that's going to work really well on my island. Maybe you're going to be upset because you're going to lose your baby or your dreamy that you managed to get on your island. I'd say take this as an opportunity to try and find them again, create that relationship with them again, and it also gives you that opportunity to not give them that bathrobe that you gave them. Plus, for most of this stuff, if you're really worried, maybe you don't have the amiibo card for a character, maybe you don't have a friend that you can ask to look after your items, well, there's free treasure islands all over Twitch and YouTube that you can just jump onto and go and get the items that you want if you're okay with doing that type of stuff. Unless, just grind for it. Just grind for that stuff and find it again, and it'll just give you a new bout of life for this game. I promise. Point number 3 as to why you should be resetting your Animal Crossing save. Playing through the beginning days of the game again is really relaxing and really exciting. Let's be honest, we all rushed the beginning days of the game when we first got it back last March or last April, or even last month if you got it, if you're potentially experiencing burnout right now. But this meant that we missed out on some of the magical moments at the beginning of the game, because the beginning of the game, the collecting of resources, the talking to villagers, the just experiencing the game is very reminiscent of the previous series. But this meant that we missed out on some magical moments at the beginning of our saves. The beginning of New Horizons almost replicates the beginnings or the main portions of the previous games in this game series. It had more of a focus on collecting bugs and fish, materials, chatting to your villagers, doing chores, the list goes on. But because we all sped through the beginning of that game, we missed out on that. We missed out on that reminiscing opportunity at the beginning of the game, and we just lost that. Being able to experience the beginning of the game again can help you recapture those previous memories that you had from previous games, and can just help you feel a lot more warmer about the game rather than the coldness and the frustration of terraforming. Also, the pre-plaza music that we had before we got the plaza, it was so lovely, because let's be honest again, the hourly music that's in New Horizons is a little bit boring and kind of soulless, at least in my opinion. I find it really boring. I'd much prefer to have the pre-plaza music playing every hour because I feel like it had so much more texture. Point number 4, your planning abilities. Now that you've played the game and potentially reset, your planning capabilities have immensely increased. You now know how to look for inspiration for your island. You now know how to incorporate that inspiration into your island as as well. You can explore different themes because you have the skills to plan for it. Now, real quick, if you want a few ideas on themes that you can potentially use for your island, check out the eye in the corner, because I do have a video that I made of the 5 most popular themes in Animal Crossing New Horizons, or at least they were then. And point number 5, the last point that I want to make, you now understand quality over quantity in the game. By this, you now respect and appreciate the smaller things that are in the games. A villager fishing in that small patch of water that you accidentally left when you were terraforming, a bee buzzing around some flowers, the shooting stars at night, the sway of the trees in the breeze as it changes during the day. You know that terraforming can wait. You don't have to terraform right then and there, because creativity has no time limit. Just because it doesn't get done today doesn't mean that you wasted time. If you've instead spent your time playing with a friend on their save, you visited a dream address, you decided to go fishing all day, that's not wasted time because you've enjoyed that. Also, just take that into your real life as well. Don't think that you've wasted time just because, you know, you're enjoying yourself and you're playing a game and you haven't done anything productive. It's not wasted time. You now have a better mindset, which will hopefully help you to be able to enjoy the game and enjoy the time that you spend on the game. And that's it. They're my 5 opinions, options, reasons as to why you should be restarting your save. With the lull of updates that we've been getting, because it's been almost or over 100 days since we've had an update in the game, I think it would be a really good opportunity to restart, because then you actually have something fresh to do, and it also gives you a new lease of life for when eventually they decide to release that update. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it has Brewster in it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below if you enjoyed it. Also, comment down below if you want to be in the giveaway that I will be doing. I'm not putting a deadline on it just yet because I want to see how well it's received, so we will see. But I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world. I will catch you in the next video. Fingers crossed it's sometime soon. And I guess I'll see you later. Bye!